What's going on YouTube? My name is Amisbro, and for this video we are doing another episode of the anime review series. This will be episode 27, and we are doing Tokyo Ghoul Route A, which is a sequel of sorts to Tokyo Ghoul. It's also in many respects a continuation of the first season's story, which is pretty cool. Except there are some major issues I have with it. Okay, let's start from the beginning. This is a continuation of when the Antigu crew went to go raid a gory tree and try to see, they were raiding the one Jason's hideout, and they were trying to get Kaneki back. Alright, cool. Fine. You do this, and you do it in about an episode. The next, I want to say it feels like 5, then take place with Kaneki working for Agori and the CSCG trying to take him out. Okay. Well, the one good thing that happened in this series of episodes, we met a character named Akira Mado, whose father died in season 1. Okay. When I say it was the one good thing, it's because she literally became my favorite character in the entire series. Legitimately. She was one of my favorite characters. Outside of course, the gourmet ghoul himself, Sukiyama, who got so little face time in this season, it literally upset me. Well, here's the thing, right? This season was supposed to have been deemed an original story wrote by the creator. So you have a different ending than what you got in season in the manga. Okay. Well, okay. The events that were occurring, it seemed like there were events, I'm guessing, because I don't know, because I haven't read the manga yet, that were blended from the original story that was wrote, the original script, and the manga. Because for some weird reason, the way Ishida wrote it, the person felt like they couldn't abandon the people who have read the manga. But see, realistically, unless you cheated, we'll call it, and you read translations online, and you don't wait until June when it comes out, you haven't really read it. So therefore, you know, throwing an original story to the people that haven't really read the manga, or mixing elements of an original script with the manga, really confuses the issue, doesn't it? So what ends up happening is you will watch episodes, and it's good to have action in the episodes. I'm not denying that. But my issue became there was a lot of fighting in like say the first half, and they didn't really slow down the series at all. It's like they wanted to go 100 miles an hour, and they wanted you to have to try to understand everything. But they didn't really explain who Akira was. They didn't really explain a lot. Okay. And that's fine, because it makes you want to read the source material later on when it when you can. But at the same time, when you don't explain a character, you don't really give a developed backstory, you don't do a lot. Until you get towards the very end and then you start jamming it in there, it's kind of lazy. It kind of makes you go, oh shit, this person forgot they were supposed to put character development in. So now they're rushing to do it. Okay? You get to the finale tonight. And I'm slightly giggling because when I watch a finale for a series, okay, I want to know that things are going to happen, and I want to know that I'm not going to feel bored watching it. Okay, even if it's only 24 minutes, I don't want it to feel like I watched an hour. I practically sat and watched the finale tonight straight through and was so bored by the end. I legitimately didn't know how to react to it at all. That's not a good way to write it. Here's the way I look at it when it comes to Tokyo Ghoul, right? Or when it comes to any anime. I want to either be happy, I want to be sad, I want to be pissed off, I want to be something. I don't want to have watched an episode and sit there and go, what? Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like, in many respects, that's what I watched tonight. But what was so weird about that was the episodes that led up to it, there was enough action, and there was, granted, not a lot of development, but there was a little development since you started to really want to care about the characters. Then you get to the episodes you get to tonight, and it's just like, huh? Like, okay, the part where Hyde, when there was blood on the floor, and apparently I guess Hyde got stabbed. Now, I've watched all the episodes and I've paid attention. I seriously don't remember the part where he got stabbed. So the blood on the floor when I found out it was from him, I was like, wait, when did he get stabbed? And I was paying attention for all the episodes. I've watched 24 episodes. I've seen the boy get his ass kicked. I've seen the boy fighting. I've seen the boy be work delivery for CCG. I've seen him, in CCG armor. I don't remember seeing him get stabbed in the 12 episodes that we saw here. When did it happen? Or was that an aggravation of when he got injured from the Shiki in... I don't know. I'm throwing my hands up. That confused me. That confused me the most, to be honest. Okay. Everything else I'll try to piece together when the manga comes out. But I watched the action from episodes 1 to about 6 and really enjoyed it, but I also wanted them to slow down. So you get to about, I think it was, actually it may have been episode 6 when I started to slow down a little bit. When you get to about episode 6, 7, and you start getting towards the ending, they do start to slow down a little bit, thankfully, and they do start to say, okay, we're going to do a story. But the thing was, one of the pieces they did was they did the Antigua raid, which comes from the manga. Which, again, unless you've read the manga, you don't know exactly about it. So those of us that haven't read the manga, we only know about it because there are people, again, from the people that have done whatever with the manga, they're screaming in your ear, yo, here's going to be the Antigua raid, and admittedly it was one of the best sections in the series. It legitimately was. The relationship between Juzo and Shinohara was actually really cool. The relationship between Arman and Akira, I love that, because Akira is one of my favorite types of characters, because she was beautiful, she's smart, and she takes no shit from the boys. And she has a wit about her that is so quick that you cannot keep up with her because of the way her mind works. Even when she got pissed drunk at one point, she still had the wit about her, and that just made me really, it really endeared her to me a lot more. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about this also, because there are people that will be critical of the anime because it was 24 episodes and they did whatever they were going to do with it. Okay. And the manga itself is 143 episodes, right? Okay. This is La Corte d'Oro. Okay? This is the manga version of it. This is only volume 1. There's about, I believe it's either 15 or 17. Okay? If you take out the side stories, there are 75 chapters, and that's it. But by the time I got done reading the 75 chapters, I was so exhausted mentally from having read it that I couldn't wait for it to end in many respects. Plus, the ending they gave me, I thought was kind of bullshit, to be honest. Just say. Like, you didn't really have a real, honest conclusion in the relationship between two of the characters. Okay? This is the anime version of it. This is Primo Passo. This is 26 episodes. This is a third of the length. This is legitimately one of my favorite animes, period. Now, why is it that I enjoy this, but this exhausted me? You know why? Because in this, there was no real filler versus, say, the manga. When they wrote the manga out, they literally could have cut a good portion of that story out, because the main crux of it was the Len Tsukamori Hino Kahoko story. That was the main crux of it. Well, that and the rivalry between him and one of the other competitors, whose name now escapes me. Oh, Ryotaro. Okay. Tokyo Ghoul's manga, the original manga, is 143 chapters. They took 24 episodes to tell a story. However, the second half of the story, in reality, didn't really do it for me. Now, am I going to go read the manga? Yeah. When it starts coming out in June in America, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to read it. And I may end up enjoying it. Who the hell knows? But the thing of it is there was a lot they could have done with this season to really make the grade better. They relegated arguably one of the best characters to very minor appearances in Shu Sukiyama. Okay? People can say they destroyed his character development because they turned him into a comedy character. You know what? Let me just say it like this. We needed a bit of levity because the story was getting so dark and depressing. Like, legitimately depressing. So, having him be the levity and lift up everybody's spirits in his own unique manner, I'm totally cool with. But you see, the people who claim to have read the manga, well, there's an issue here. You can't disconnect from what you read to what you're watching. So therefore, you have this loyalty to a version of a character, and plus, just something to think about. That version of Sukiyama might actually be boring to some people. Do you think about that? Like, let's say there are people that end up reading the entire 143 chapters, but they're going to do it when the manga comes out, okay? Let's say they watched the anime, they watched how, yes, he was a bit of a comedy figure, but he, you know, it was good comedy. And then you read the manga and you just go, and you could literally be so bored by it, it's not even funny. That's what worries me when the manga comes out. See? As it stands, let's look at this series from where we sit. I don't mind the animation. There's people that were annoyed by it, whatever. I thought it was okay. Story and plot progression. If it didn't have the issue where you had manga and the original story melding together, I may have given that a better look or a better grade, to be honest. Which means that the character development, I really can't say they really did a good job of, if only because, like, the first half, it felt like they were doing nothing but action, and then towards the end of the first half of the season into the second, they stopped themselves and they went, oh, wait a minute, we have to do this, and they did this, the character development, but they did it in a way that it felt kind of rushed. I don't know. Which means, for the most part, that the emotional connections to the characters, at least to me, was kind of like it wasn't really there. Plus, this series, the one big issue you have with Tokyo Ghoul, and it's a problem you have in reality with Black Butler and even Death Note, okay? They give you two sides, but you don't know who really the villain is because of the way that some things happen. And because of that, I don't know that I can really give this a failing grade or a passing grade. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Watch this series, Tokyo Ghoul and Rude, on your own. But stay away from like social media because they might try to get in your ear. Watch this on your own, and then make your own conclusion as to how you look at the Tokyo Ghoul anime series at this point, because the ending kind of hints that we're going to get the RE, and I'm already now looking forward to that for one huge reason. They promised a new protagonist, but in reality, it's looking like it's really been the same person. So they kind of lied to you. But make your own judgment on the anime, and in June when the manga comes out, see if you want to give Sue Ishida your hard-earned money, because you're going to be in for a long-ass ride with them, unfortunately. Anywho, that is the review here, and I will talk to you actually tomorrow, because tomorrow we are doing a Revolution Girl Utena. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.